We bring you the newest and most talked about movies that are coming to theater this week. It is weekly premiere. Good morning, Jonathan. Welcome back.
Morning, Molly. I like your, what do you call that stuff thing on your head?
Beanie.
Beanie, yeah.
Yeah. You want one? I can get you
I
one
have
if
one.
you want.
I have one. Thank you. I don't want a red one like that.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Did you go to a funeral?
No, I was a little busy, so I couldn't go to the funeral.
Yeah. Actually, there's some news which we are about to talk about.
Yes, very, very famous and producer named Lee Taewon, Taewon Lee.
Yeah, and he's the owner of Taehyung from production.
Right, and he passed away.
So it's kind of untimely death, even though he's at 84, I think, because he had an accident last year.
What happened was he was parking his car and he was getting out of the car and he hit his head on a wall or something, or a metal pole,
Right.
and he fell.
And then he has been hospitalized since then.
For over a year now. And his son told me that although he can't wake up, his body was so strong that he was just hanging in there. But finally, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about him. It's not just movie producer. He's actually more than that when you think about Korean cinema.
Well, he was basically a distributor in the beginning. Well, actually, I should say
theater owner. Right?
He was a theater owner, which he got from a friend who could not pay his debt. So he was forced to take over the theater.
I see.
And then the regional distributor would not give him any movies. So he actually decided to start that business. So he actually started distributing Gyeonggi, Gangwon area. And then he, and also the producer wasn't giving him any movies. So he started making movies. So how he started making films.
Right. I mean, he has a very interesting background, actually. He used to be some sort of gangster.
So he says.
Like Wakamachi Koji started as Yakuza.
He actually made a movie about it too. So it remains to be seen.
Right. And then he moved into this film business, and then he was he successful when he just came in? Because everyone knew that he's from this like dark world,
Well, no. I mean, many people in the past, and especially after 50s, we had a lot of people. A lot of the gangsters were producers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
is it because they had money to fund their movies?
When there's money, there are gangsters.
Right. Yeah.
That's why a lot of the drugs are run by gangsters. You know how that works.
So how was your first encounter with Itaewon was like?
This was long time ago, about 40 years ago, I should say.
In the 1990s, I guess. Because that's when
80s,
he started producing.
Late 80s, yeah.
Right.
Late 80s,
and
I met him.
Were you a distributor then?
I was importer-producer at the time. Yeah.
I see.
So I met him because I actually had to distribute through that territory that he was distributing in, and but he had a steady income from the theater that he was. It was in Ujeongbu area,
중앙 Theater.
So with that money, he was able to buy some of the films that he can distribute around that same area, and he did quite well. And his son took over later on. And of course, we do direct distribution these days, so no more provincial distributors.
Right. So what was your first impression like?
He actually uses a lot of profanities when he talks. and
I was told.
Yeah, and I thought he was kind of funny in the beginning. And then he made many historical films, actually. I don't know, you don't remember this, but the 청춘 스케치.
Right.
Directed by Lee
철수의 청춘 스케치.
And
then he did some movies by 배창호 and 임권택. A lot of
Well, he did 장군의 아들, Son of the General, which was a huge hit. And then he made 서편제, which was also a very, very big hit. And it actually deals with the Korean traditional singing. And so basically he made director In Gontek up to
As
where he is.
global,
Yeah.
right, level.
But funny thing is, he told me one time that these big movies that he made, because director In Gontek, he's been working with him for a while, and there was a movie that In Gontek really wanted to do. So
Was it Shihwason? No.
no. That was
한연합.
the Son of the General.
Oh, right.
And just to keep him around, he didn't really think it was going to do well. So he let him do whatever he wants, right? And then that became a big hit. And also because he made so much money with the Son of the General, he had to actually save taxes. So he produced the Sapenje.
I see. That's how it happened.
But it became a bigger hit. So all these things, this goes to tell you, when you really think this is going to do well, sometimes it doesn't do well. But it's like a golf swing. You can't really put too much power into this anything. So you got to be just cool about everything.
I think it turned out he had a knack for it. His background is from completely something different, but apparently he had a talent. Making movies and watching movies, or picking out talent.
I think there's a very thin line between luck and talent. But I would say he was more lucky than talent.
So, what did you think about the movies he produced, though? Like Kegman and all these so-called Korean new wave films that not many producers dare to produce at that point, because they're like completely different movies by relatively new faces.
Well, of course, at the time he was young too.
I see.
So he was able to.
He was in the 50s, though, wasn't he? Like 40s?
He was in probably his 40s when he did these movies. So he was quite young. And I mean, when you're young, you try different things. Like I was trying different things when I was young. And so whoever does different things usually succeed because in movie business, you don't find the trend. You have to set the trend.
I see. Wow, that's pretty cool, Jonathan.
Thank you.
So you think that he's somebody who did that?
I think he was setting some trends back then, I think. So, and then whoever follows that kind of thing, they don't do well.
So, what do you think is going to happen then? He still has this 태흥 영화사, 태흥 Film Company.
I don't think they're going to run it anymore because they
could do some archiving stuff, right? Like copyright. They still get the income from their old label.
Yeah, but I have a lot of old movies too, but they're not too lucrative. I mean, they can have libraries, but I passed by their office, but I think it was sold to somebody. At least the office was.
It's located in Itaewon? No.
Yuan Village.
Oh, wow! It's a rich town.
And that was his home for a long time.
So he's Itaewon, born in Itaewon. What a coincidence.
Well, Hannam-dong is better.
Right. Actually, yes. Yeah. We have two movies for this week, and it's a Hollywood film.
Yes, it's very famous. Halloween Kills.
You know what? It's Halloween weekend. Oh, I didn't know. It's Halloween. I kind of forgot about that.
I saw some foreigners yesterday in the Itaewon area. I think they're here to join the party on Halloween.
Oh, is it going to be a party in Itaewon?
I mean, every year there's the big Halloween party.
I thought they were going to skip it this year.
Well, they're trying to block everything.
Yeah,
so.
Right. I should check that out if there's one. Okay. So Halloween movie comes for Halloween weekend, It's been a...
Yeah, it's actually part of the franchise. They've had... how many Halloween movies?
20... I checked this morning. 20 something. Halloween series, right? Just Halloween series.
Halloween franchise.
Right.
By
22?
No, 12. Including this one. And actually one more coming. One more coming, actually.
Yeah, next year. I think they produced them at the same time.
Right.
Okay. So you sort of grew up with this series. I think the very first instrument came out in 1970.
78.
78, right.
Yep. I was high school junior.
Oh,
at the time.
you were?
Yeah.
So did you go to this thing?
I think I went to see the first one. And Jamie Lee Curtis was at the time, I think because of this Halloween, she was called the horror queen.
Right.
Like how Hajiwon was in Korea, right? She was a horror queen.
Right. When she did
so she, I think she was the first anybody who was called horror queen, and Hajiwon was named after that. That is Jamie Lee Curtis. However,
I see.
This was a huge hit at the time.
So when it came out, what were like people's response to this kind of franchise?
You know, back in the 70s and 80s, there were a lot of slasher films. Like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
In fact, I don't usually get scared when I watch movies, but Nightmare on Elm Street was pretty scary. And this one was pretty scary too at the time.
So have you ever thought about distributing it when you actually became, the distributor? Because this can be profitable,
I had imported one of the films that...
from Halloween franchise.
No, not from Halloween, but it was called Shocker.
Never heard.
Yeah, well, this Devil Travels. It's very old. You were probably a baby at the time.
Okay.
Devil travels through the electronic lines.
So, did it make you some money?
It was very successful.
Wasn't right?
It was.
Oh, it was.
It was very successful.
That's what's interesting about this whole franchise. Among those 12, the entire films, they always make good money, even though how, bad the reviews were.
Because Halloween is something of a very American, traditional holiday. It's supposed to be scary.
So is it bigger market than Christmas? No? Because they all go to movies, right?
No. I think Christmas is a better season because, it's a holiday, whereas Halloween is not really a holiday.
So tell me about this one, Halloween Kills. Jamie Lee Curtis comes back with her daughter and granddaughter, I think.
Yes, and the people who didn't get killed in the original movie.
Right.
Halloween.
The survivors.
This franchise has a very interesting, how do you say, a family tree. So 1978 was the original one. There followed Halloween 2 and 2 years later. And there was a Halloween 3, Season of which has nothing to do with the first two.
So it's just a name.
So the masked man, his name is Michael Myers or something like that. Right. He's not in it actually. And everything else had Michael Myers in it.
But then it can't be titled as Halloween.
Yeah, but it was made by the same people.
I see.
So Halloween 3 has nothing to do with it. And then the one that they made in 2007 was a remake of the original 1978.
By Rob Zombie, right?
Right. And then it had a sequel, Halloween 2009. And then they made one, the Blumhouse made Halloween 2018, which is a direct sequel of the original 1978 movie. And
it's pretty complicated.
They have another sequel coming out called Halloween Ends, which they shot together, I think.
Right.
The other one.
I think Jason Blum came to Busan International Film Festival 2 years ago for this movie to promote the Halloween that he produced.
Not only that, he had a deal with Showbox in Korea, right? To make 20 films together or something.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's actually there anymore, but they did.
Oh, but is it going to be done?
I think because of the pandemic, I think everything is at stop.
I see. Did you see him in person?
No.
He's just insanely good looking. He should have been an actor, not a producer.
If you say so, yes.
Why are you speechless?
Because you're funny.
I was the one who saw him.
You usually find old men very handsome.
Who said so? That's not true. You total liar. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm gonna check out this movie in theater. Because I like horror movies.
It looks pretty good, but I suggest that you go see Halloween 2018 if you haven't watched it, because it's a sequel, basically.
Right. It's got to be connected.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
아리랑
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 아리랑 radio.
You know what? I love this film so much. This is one of the most, I don't know, like delightful movies I ever seen.
I think
these days.
we're in consent this time because I really like the
Finally.
film too. Yeah. So
And
I
this
did.
film.
I did. You know, I like movies about healing, especially this movie is about healing the differences
Right.
and also the past traumas and things like that. And
So this movie that we're actually talking about, it's a Korean-Japanese co-production, and it is called The Asian Angel, which I think it's such a horrible title.
yeah. I think it's named after the actual angel.
Yeah,
Because,
that
people-
appears in film.
I think the movie's whole thing is about bias and opinions, how people decide for themselves. So many people think when they think angel, it's all what you see in movies, or they're all white.
Yeah, and it's all benevolent.
You never
and-
see an Asian angel, so I think that's why they titled it this way. However,
And then the angel that appears in this movie actually bites people,
right,
not just does good things, you know.
right, and the Korean title is different.
당신은 믿지 않겠지만 you may
Although
not.
you may not believe it.
Right. Which is totally better title. Would have been.
Right.
So let's talk about this film. It's directed by Ishii Youya,
Right.
and he's considered the young meister in Japanese cinema. He already made 12 movies, even though he's like 38 right now.
I think I may have met him a few times, but I don't.
He
really
comes to
remember.
Korea a lot.
Yeah.
He likes
Well, I
Korea.
think I saw him at a few film festivals. And this movie actually was a closing film of the 2021 Osaka Asian Film Festival. And it was screened at the 20th New York Asian Film Festival. And he actually won, not him, but the actor Ikematsu plays the starting role. He was also selected
소스케
for
맞죠?
yeah, a Rising Star Asian Awards.
Actually, there are like 3 Japanese actors in this movie. Odagiri-jo and Sosuke and a
Yeah.
little child actor. And they actually come to Korea, Gangneung, and they have this entire shooting in Korea. So how tell me about this kind of co-production. We used to have a lot back in the 2000s.
We didn't have a lot. There are a handful of co-productions between Korea and Japan. Actually, I did one in 2006 called Virgin Snow, 첫눈,
Oh, okay.
with Lee Joon-gi and Miyazaki Aoi.
I see.
And it was probably the most standard form of co-production because each side put up 50% each of the money. And
So how those kinds of movies, how are they conceived? By whom? So it's a producer? Sort of leads whole production?
yeah, of course, we agreed that we agree on the subject, and we actually will have. Actually, the script came from us first, the Japanese, and that's how we do it. And the interesting thing about Japanese production is, they have something called the production committee.
Right.
Which,
제작위원회.
which nobody else has. So basically, in the production committee, all the investors.
Isn't your daughter, Nikki?
That is my daughter.
Hi, Nikki.
all the people who have invested in the movie come into a committee, and every decision about movie has to go
Right.
through the committee. That's
Right.
why.
And majority of people are from television industry, not from film industry.
Well, not really, but TV stations do invest in the movie, so and they do a lot of decision making too. So many times they try not to make any changes during the production because they have to go through the committee and it takes a long time, right? So.
Oh, we ran out of time already. That's so sad. We didn't even get to talk about this film.
It's a wonderful film. Go see it.
It is a wonderful film, and the characters are just so adorable. And then I really like the way they shot the Gangneung City.
Yeah.
I mean, in the ocean, and the traditional houses and whatnot.
And I loved seeing Oda Girijo speak Korean. It was so
Right.
funny.
It's one of the rarest opportunities you can actually get to see him speaking in Korean, and that
Right.
was not bad. That wasn't really bad. It's so sad that I had to
We have to go.
let you go. You're coming back next week, right?
I am, of course.
Definitely. We'll see each other next week. Thank you for coming in, Jonathan.
Thank you.
You just listened to Weekly Premiere. We'll be back with exciting new movie next week. So please come back.